light on.
Gator, turn my light on.
Go turn your light on before anyone gets here. Oh, he actually. Wow, he took the thing. Oh, it's just us, man.
I love how you just.
All right, we'll wait for people to come in here. Listen, guys, let's all not freak out. Let's keep our composure.
What a bad start! What a bad start for
me. Jimmy wanted a win so badly tonight, so we got to keep things positive for the most part.
I wanted to win.
That's what I'll do.
You know what it is?
That's not what you're doing.
Friday night.
That's not what you're
Friday
gonna do.
night. I've had a long week. We've all had long weeks. We just want to sit down and watch the Celtics win a game and just, have a drink, enjoy the game, and we just can't have nice things. So now we have 45 to an hour of John. Sky is falling.
Why is it me? First of all, I'm going to spend 30 minutes. I'm going to spend 30 minutes at least looking for Bobby's replacement.
That's later. That's the last thing.
Okay, but I do want you guys to fill the chat with your thoughts on who should replace Bobby.
And it can't be Nick.
Everyone is going to suggest themselves. You know that.
Here's why it can't
I
be
will
Nick.
I will absolutely do that. We have a producer on the show right now who was on this chat. You think I won't find a host too? I absolutely will.
Wait a minute. Is that who you were talking to? Jimmy, you remember he was talking to someone on the phone. Is that what it was?
That's who he was talking to, yeah. He said comb the chat tonight. He said comb the chat tonight and make sure that all prospects are vetted thoroughly. I'll say this, it can't be Nick because Nick had an invite tonight. He had an invite tonight to be our fourth guy on the show, and he big timed us. He Hollywooded us. Friday night, Nick at night, we thought we had him. We invited him, and he just said thanks, but no thanks. What's he doing? Probably absolutely nothing. But he wanted us to beg for him to come on, and we didn't.
All right. When I said no negativity, I meant in general. Okay, you're just gonna air out the CLNS dirty laundry right now. Let's get into the game. All right, let's do it right now.
Wait, you're next, pal.
Yeah, you're next, Joe Sway. Keep it up. But all right, you want to start with? You want to start with?
What are we starting with?
We should start with the elephant in the room. Saddiq Bey went off tonight. Nesmith couldn't sniff the court.
Yeah, I mean, look, we could start with that because I don't think it's a terrible place to start. Look, headlines of the game would be Peyton Pritchard started and he crapped out with the starters.
Yeah, but let's talk about it in the context of the game. Let's not talk about draft night,
What is wrong with you?
In the context of the game, for now.
Get out of here. Get him out of here.
We need replacement for Joe Sway and Bobby.
We're not talking about draft night, obviously, but that's the whole point of the story, though. That's the whole point of the comparison.
The point of the story is your guy, Saddiq Bey.
Joe Sway's guy.
That's right. That's right. They messed up there. Yeah.
He went off. He went full dummy mode. He went full dummy mode on the Celtics. Why does that always happen against the Celtics? Weird.
I mean,
rhetorical question.
When it comes to wings that can score and the open court, whether we're talking
when it comes to guys having career nights, Saddiq Bey, that was banana land. 7 of 7 from
Joe
3.
Sway, did somebody tell you you're not supposed to hang out with these guys or something, and that's why you decided to come in with a positive attitude? You're like, I don't care if they lose to the Pistons. I'm keeping it positive.
No, I didn't say all that.
I don't want to be associated with these guys.
I want to get into the game itself.
I know we're going to get into the game. Go ahead.
Hey, big screen on Joe Sway so he can get into the game, please. I feel like big screen on Joe Sway.
We're doing things backwards here.
The story of the game was it's a make-miss league. The Celtics missed all their threes again tonight. Jason Tatum took some horrible, horrible quality shots, so we can talk about that as well. But Saddiq Bey scored. You have a night in which you're without Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Romeo Langford, and you lose Semi Ojeleye in the third quarter, and Aaron Nesmith can't friggin' whiff the court. He can't get a sniff of it. I don't even know if they let him I don't even know if he had a uniform under his warm-up. I don't even know if he was dressed.
I was happy to see him out there last night.
He's already driving home. He didn't have to shower. He didn't have to change.
Right. Can I go? I don't even know if he was there at the end of the game. He's like, I'm not playing, right? So I can go?
He's like, I'm not going to shower. It's fine.
Right. Yeah. I'm definitely not having a post-game interview like Peyton did, but I can go. So he
was in the back seat of that interview, actually. I'm just kidding. He wasn't in the back seat.
All right, so Joe, tell us in the game what happened tonight.
No. If you want to do the all right.
No. I want you to do the game.
Let's get back to the game, okay? Because this is the same Celtics we saw in the bubble. Okay, the transition defense Celtics and
game recap game.
This is bad habits. Okay, listen. transition defense, and that's not what we saw one night ago, or last night, I should say. And listen, I know it's the second night of the back-to-back. The Detroit Pistons,
don't make excuses for them.
No, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying what happened to what we saw last night. I'm not talking about the three-pointers. We knew they weren't going to duplicate that. But what happened to the transition defense? And I think Shemi Ojale getting hurt didn't help things, obviously. But at the same time, you had the Detroit Pistons in the penalty in that fourth quarter, and you start chucking threes again. Like, that's the bad habits I'm talking about.
I hate that.
Yeah. So why can the Celtics not continue, like, the defense, that intensity that we saw last night? It looked like a completely different team,
Listen, I resent the fact that they were chucking threes. I think they missed.
I admire what Josue is doing. We need some balance. You can't just have friggin' me
and
Jimmy.
He's doing God's work.
You can't have me and Jimmy in the balcony right now, just being grumpy old men.
That fourth quarter drove me crazy. I want to get into the negativity of this game, not the negativity of draft night.
Okay, let me say one thing. We can all agree that Daniel Tice missed two completely wide open threes. I wish Bobby was on the show tonight because he would probably try to twist and turn and fit and worm his way out of this one. But Daniel Tice,
we needed the Tice threes tonight.
He missed two wide open 3-pointers. A great pass from
Four on the night.
Jason.
We needed all of them.
Yeah, he missed probably all of it. The two in the fourth that were wide open. I mean, and the one that would have, I think, given them the lead or at least tied it up, that he completely bricked.
Well, thanks, Jimmy.
And that was the game. And then they went back down. The Pistons went down on the other end and they scored, and that was your game. I mean, it went another 45 minutes after that, but that was your game.
That was going to lead into my second point because the lack of transition defense also, you couple the fact with, of course, the Celtics weren't able to do what they did last night. They didn't even come close. They looked awful from behind the arc. This team, if they're not making the threes, that's going to be their new MO now. Like, if they're not making the threes, that the transition defense is going to fall, and all of a sudden, teams can just come up big in the fourth quarter. And listen, Sadiq Bey went off, right? He came up huge. But those last 5 minutes, that was a salvageable game before he made his seventh three-pointer there. 7 for 7.
That Bay three-pointer was the backbreaker, the final nail in the coffin. But the Celtics allowed that to happen because they didn't hit their opportunities on their end. So you hate to say make-miss league, but I mean, honestly, if you hit a couple of those threes.
It goes back to that.
It always goes back to it, Josue. That's what it comes down to.
This was a so much to hate game. Like, I don't even know where to start. Like, this was bad everywhere,
That's why John wanted to go. That's why you wanted to start the draft. Okay, I got you.
No, I mean, it's a tough one here. I mean, look, bad performances. Like, but Daniel Tice had a historical shooting month and a half with the Celtics here. I'm not going to kill him for missing the threes. You needed him tonight. They didn't happen. Whatever. He's been out of his mind from 3-point and from the field in general for like 5 weeks now. So, okay, that happens. I can live with it. Tatum he had a weird game. He got to the line a ton. He helped distribute a bit. His shots were a little bit forced, but I mean, he did force the issue. He was trying to take it in a little bit. He drew some fouls. He had 13 free throw attempts. I'm not going to die there, but everything else was just what it was. I mean, it was just a crap, uninspired game. I mean, we were hoping for some Pritchard heroics coming in, subbing in for Kemba. He was barely noticeable here. He still played 29 minutes. Teagued. I don't know what you're going to do there.
I thought he was fine.
Massive Tristan Thompson regression tonight. I thought this was one of his worst games.
Yeah, I agree. Especially
I thought Thompson was awful and just forcing the issue when he's getting the ball in the paint on offense. I just didn't think he did nothing tonight. And you could see it. His minutes were reflected. I mean, it was reflected in his minutes tonight, even down a big. Thompson played 17 minutes.
Yeah, and
that was it. Javonte, I don't understand. Javonte, I don't know if you could have had a worse 12 minutes. Everything that happened when he was on the court was terrible.
End of the second quarter, he had a nice little
before halftime.
That was it.
That was it. Yeah, but that actually had me thinking, okay, there's a little bit of life for the Celtics going into the half. Come out firing in the second. This is the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit freaking Pistons. They've won 6 games. Weird thing about the Pistons is like all their wins are against like the best teams in the league. I can't figure them out. I guess I don't.
They've been giant killers this year.
They've been giant killers. I don't even know if the Celtics, you consider them a giant. I don't think you can right now, obviously, but the Celtics had no business losing this game. I don't care it's a back-to-back. I don't care that Kemba Walker didn't play and Marcus Smart was out. I still think that they should have beaten this team.
Yeah, they should have. I mean, Jason Tatum got things going, but again, I think it goes back to the defense. The defense and the not seeking high percentage looks that we saw last night, not swinging the ball the way they were swinging it last night. Settling for threes is one thing.
Yeah,
but
a lot of hero ball.
A lot of hero ball. I mean, you're going to settle for a three, all right, but make it a good-looking three.
A lot of hero ball. You went from 30 assists to 15 assists, Yeah.
And that was my problem with Teague in a couple of these stretches where he starts dribbling around the court, can't make a decision, hesitation, brings it back out. By the time he's figured out what he wants to do, 9 seconds has peeled off the clock.
This is also a bit of the problem, I think, when Tatum becomes a primary ball handler, because he holds the ball for a solid 10, 12 seconds before he either decides if he's going to make a move or he's going to distribute it. It doesn't get out of his hands quickly when he ends up bringing it up, which he does sometimes when Teague is out there. So when the two of those guys are out there, you don't get a lot of flow. On that. I've noticed that a little bit too.
That's true.
Teague did not have a good night by any stretch, and Green and John, you already mentioned it. Green obviously didn't either. The guys. Well,
that's what makes the so perplexing.
I know, and
it was a crap offensive game, absolutely. And I like the energy Javonte brings from time to time, but I mean, it's just I don't know. Again, I'm not gonna. If he's not playing, it's because he's not ready to play. But if that's the case, I mean, again, this is the juggling act we talk about. Like, don't you have to force the issue some in order to get him to a point? You're not practicing, okay? This isn't the starters versus the green team where the reserves are trying to beat Larry and Kevin and those guys, and out there killing each other at practice. There's no opportunity for him to show he's better. He has to play his way in the games. There's no way he can possibly evolve unless you throw him into the fire more. I think you have to default him to 12, 15 minutes a game and live with it. Because, again, we've kind of conceded the regular season doesn't matter a ton. And you're losing to Detroit anyway. I mean, Sacramento and other teams here, you've got out. I am perplexed by the decision to just not at all. It's strange.
I can't figure it out. I mean, think about it like this. You have Kemba Walker out. You have Marcus Smart out. Jaylen Brown's not out, but apparently he's got some soreness going on. So, does he need to play as many minutes as he's playing tonight? Romeo Langford's been out. If this guy's not playing against one of the worst teams in the NBA on a night where they need minutes and need guys, they're putting Carson Edwards out there, they're putting Teague out there, they're putting Green out there. Theoretically, you'll never see him. You'll just never see him. Marcus Smart even said on the broadcast tonight, I can't remember the last time we practiced. These guys aren't practicing. They don't have time to practice. They don't have the days to practice. It's game after game, and there's a break in between, and then they travel, and then they're playing. Again, like you just said, John, he's never going to get better if he doesn't play. And if you're not playing against one of the worst teams in the NBA on a Friday night and the second night of a back-to-back with 3 or 4 of your guys out that are interchangeable position-wise, then what the hell is this guy even doing showing up to the game? You might as well just sit him at home and just have him as a COVID reserve in case somebody, gets, close to somebody with COVID.
You got to redshirt him?
You honestly might as well redshirt him. Seriously. He's no more valuable to you than a guy that hasn't been around somebody that might have COVID.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. And I guess this has to be it, right? Let's guess maybe Shemi is limited or not available at all for the next game. You go to
That's
see
the other thing. You lost Shemi tonight. Thank you.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. You even lost Shemi halfway through the damn game, and he still couldn't get a minute. And they needed shooting.
Imagine if Nick was on this show. This would be he'd be fueled by the Brad's got to go comments right now. Everyone is so mad at Brad.
Oh, Brad's got to go. Are you kidding me? He'd be talking about Leon Poe right now. He would be talking about guys with heart and that come up big and
this
young.
Would never happen on the 08
come up
team.
big.
This would never happen in 2009 with.
Oh my God, Casey Jones would never have allowed this.
Yeah.
Bill Fitch, never.
You think Cedric Maxwell would allow that to happen?
Ask him. Call
my
Maxwell.
Good friend Cedric Maxwell.
Bill Fitch, never.
Maybe we.
Tommy, Never.
Are you kidding me, Tommy? Never.
Nick would say, you know what, Tommy, rest his soul, but if he was watching the game tonight, you know, he'd roll over. Unbelievable.
Danny and
One of
Brad,
those games.
man, they want both of them gone now.
Yeah.
So then who takes over? Like, who do you trust in that?
I don't even think you can blame. I don't even think you can blame.
Who wins in that scenario?
You can't even blame Danny for Nesmith because we don't even know if Nesmith sucks yet. We haven't even seen the guy. So I don't even know if you can blame him yet for it. I will say this, Joe Sway, I know you don't want to talk about it, but it's the elephant in the room. It's tough to watch Bay do his thing, have a career night,
or everybody
win the game for Detroit, and Aaron Nesmith is, you know, selling hot dogs like outside the arena. I mean, nobody's buying them, but he's
like roommates with Taco now.
He's in front of halftime pizza.
John, you're not allowed to talk about Taco. That was a rule I made.
Yeah, how does he get right next to Taco? He's sitting next to Taco.
I didn't do this research. This isn't one of John's like make a point graphics. This is our new producer, who we pulled off the Celtics chat. I do want to mention.
Taco's like, hey.
Oh, did you slide into Joe Sway's DMs?
Taco's like, welcome to the end of the bench, Nesmith. I didn't think I'd see you here.
Yeah.
We really pulled the producer off the chat.
Yeah.
That's amazing. See that? Listen, people watching at home. This is why it's important to you know, watch the show, join the chat, be respectful, and you might get yourself a little in and get a little in.
You could
say nice things about us. Say nice things about us. What's the stat, John? What do you got?
Nothing. I'm saying 2 freaking minutes. Are you kidding me?
It's right in front of you, man.
Oh, there it is. Gotcha.
What's the
stat? Did not play 2 minutes total in the last 7 games.
I thought the West Coast trip was the great opportunity, but I guess that was the Carson Edwards show. I didn't get the memo. I'm with you.
2 minutes in the last.
Get him his reps. There's no G League. You know, obviously all the
something's got to be up, right? I mean, there's got to be something we don't know.
He's got to be the worst basketball player in the world.
Oh, jeez.
He might just be a bad person, because you don't even have to be a good basketball player to get minutes sometimes. But if you're an asshole, you just don't get any minutes.
I don't think that's got to be it. I mean, he's literally got to be clueless.
I'm just kidding. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I don't know anything.
No, I'm saying he's got to be clueless. A team that's dying with wing depth right now wants shooters, John, has guys down.
What's he clueless about? Does Brad just try to quiz him on plays and he just can't? He doesn't know a play. Maybe that's it, because they're not practicing.
It's a swing and a miss, John. That's what it was. It's a swing and a miss. They thought Nesmith was flat out better. They thought Nesmith was flat out better. This is a swing and a miss,
and you can determine it 24 games into his NBA career. That's terrible.
You can't. There's no way. There's no way.
If it's already been determined that this was a full-blown swing and a miss, and you whiffed 2 years in a row on the number 14 pick, and these guys can't play a minute, and I know Romeo's hurt, but I mean, Romeo, this banner could say Romeo Langford, and we could rewind to last year, and it would probably be accurate. Did not play 2 minutes total in the last 7 games. You could probably apply that anywhere into his season last year. Okay.
I mean, compared to Bay, I'm not gonna call it, you know, the whole Giannis situation that happened with the Celtics, you know, but he just looks like I don't know. The jury's still out for Nesmith, but right now for this team, obviously this team went into that draft knowing that they had to draft for needs that this team needed. Clearly they knew. See, even he said it. Clearly they knew Pritchard was ready, and they knew going into it that Nesmith's gonna need some time, but it took him anyway. If the Celtics did that means they think it's worth the wait. So,
dude,
I just don't get that.
Again, it just goes back to
not putting him on the floor just to get him in there. You know?
I'm a bust.
Right. No, it just goes back to, like, if you don't get any burn tonight, I'm not saying start the guy, but if you don't get any burn tonight, dude, you could have signed Joe Sway and he may have got 2 minutes late in that game there, man. I mean, dude, literally, like, it's not that crazy to get some burn. Like, everything that I talked about, why it should have happened, like all the reasons, second night of a back-to-back, all the injuries, you know, guys needing rest, a shitty team, pardon my French, like, just put him in for a few minutes, man. Like, come on, Brad. People say that we don't criticize Brad. That's a criticism. The kid, one of the reasons you have, like, you have Brad Stevens because he's like this great basketball mind. He should be able to tap into Aaron Nesmith's brain and get him involved.
It sucks that there's no Red Claws right now.
It does suck, but this would have been like a glorified Red
because
Claws
he'd be putting up 40 a game, and at least he'd have some confidence right now, and he'd just be lighting it up and then get some basketball. He's literally on the shelf. He didn't play late last year because of an injury. Like, he's useless right now.
But there is a G League. There's a G League bubble, correct? And the Celtics opted.
Not for Maine, though.
I know the Celtics opted to not do it, right?
Right, because I mean, you needed these guys on the roster here, but
do they? On the roster, John? I don't know if they do. I mean, Jesus, you could at least have the guy shooting a basketball. We don't even know if this guy can shoot a basketball. They're not practicing, so what is he? He's getting all his, maybe he's working out on his own, or he's getting his shots up in pregame, but he's not getting the development that he could if there was a G League opportunity for him or some other place for them to get some run. I mean, geez. I'm not saying he's going to be a bust. I'm going to wait and I want him to prove to me that he's a bust on the court. I don't want to just assume that he is because he's not playing. I would have got 2 minutes. I seriously would have got 2 minutes. I can't promise you that they would have been a good 2 minutes.
Would have made about the same contribution to the Celtics that Aaron Nesmith has over the last 7 games.
If you put me in for 2 minutes, I bet you that I'm less than a -10 in those 2 minutes. That's my promise. That's my promise.
Yeah, because you're going to look for Jason Tatum the whole time.
If they put you in early in the quarter and you just foul 4 times before the other team's in the bonus, you might keep your plus-minus at 0.
Regardless of how and why, that's my promise to you people if I ever get that opportunity. But anyways, I'm done talking about it because it's just making me angry. It's Friday night, and I should be happy.
Joe Sway wants to talk about the game. I don't have much more left of the game. It was a trash game.
Yeah, we just chewed it all up, man. That was like 15 minutes ago.
What's up with Blake? What's up with Blake Griffin? Everyone was ragging on Blake because he can't dunk anymore. Is he still valuable, though? He must be.
No.
He is.
He's absolutely broken down.
Yeah.
You know what, though? He's developed a bit of an outside shot, though. He's almost reversed his game, which is a testament to him. He wants
people to keep saying that. That's why he's been working on it, because that's going to prolong his career. That's the only thing that's going to prolong his career. So he's smart in doing that. But
right.
Yeah.
Blake of the Year, also.
I feel like they were talking a lot about. I feel like Scal was talking a lot about different things that What did he say about when what was his name came up? Josh Jackson came up. And
I was a Josh Jackson guy, was I not?
Yeah, you were.
John, you were a Josh Jackson guy?
Like I wanted to take a flyer on him.
Screw you and screw Josh Jackson. You remember Josh Jackson.
Hold on. Let me finish it real quick.
All right, you go.
Yeah, the reviews were positive. I was thinking, I don't know. I'm a little on the fence on the guy, but we'll see what he has. Mike Gorman brings it up, and Scal is like, oh, yeah, but, that's he sucks. Now he's really good. I didn't think, back then I thought he sucked. And I'm like, wait. That wasn't the consensus. I don't think that was, right? Like, yeah, he's better than people expected, but I don't think people flat out thought he wasn't good when, coming into the NBA.
He refused to work out for the Celtics. He was a complete jerk about it. He didn't even want anything to do with the Celtics. He wanted to go play for a team that he was going to get minutes for. He didn't want to come to a team that was trying to win now, and he didn't even work out for them. I'm 99% sure that's what I remember. People in the chat, if I'm right, back me up on this. Screw Josh Jackson. Nobody was more of a, what, in pre-draft. Thank you. Screw that guy.
Anyway,
that's not the reason I brought him up. But
when he hit that 3-pointer, I was pulling my hair out tonight because the last guy who wanted to hit that big shot was him. I will say this: since he's come to Detroit, he's improved his stock. Yeah, he's improved his stock. But in Phoenix, bum.
Yes, that's why I wanted to take a low flyer on Josh Jackson. I love reclamation projects with high pedigrees. I love that.
Oh, do you?
It's just
I
love it. Take a flyer on a guy who might have just been in a bad situation with a bad coach.
You must have loved Isaiah Thomas then.
Or you didn't want DeMarcus Cousins.
Or lacked maturity early.
You didn't want DeMarcus.
Cousins is a different story. Cousins is a guy who was a top 10 NBA player before devastating injuries kind of sapped a lot of his explosiveness. Plus, he's a head case. I just didn't want.
You didn't want him before the injuries, though.
I didn't want the post Achilles version of him. I was really tempted with the dominant version.
Oh, were you? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know.
He's playing great.
I didn't want the after the damaged goods version. By the way, our producer Amit just informed me that Blake Griffin has 0 dunks on the year.
Yeah, that was a hot stat.
Zero.
Yeah.
That was a hot stat. I actually felt bad for Blake. He was playing the game tonight, and everyone on Twitter was roasting him for that stat. So I guarantee you this. A week from now, Blake Griffin will have at least 1 dunk. I guarantee it. That's a guarantee. Remember this moment. He will have at least 1. Because he's going to know that everyone was roasting him, and I know Blake Griffin, and I know that he's going to make sure he dunks to shut everybody up about that.
Just to shut everybody up, yeah.
I know Blake Griffin personally. I'll text him right now and be like, yo, you're going to dunk this week? No, I don't know him personally at all. But I think he is.
Anyway, so
what else we got?
Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, yes, and Ted put it out there. I love that. It's the Belichick route. It's called second drafting. Okay, Belichick's great at it.
John, you're the only guy who likes to take a reclamation project.
No, I'm just saying.
You and Bill, that's it. It's just John and Bill, everybody.
I'm just saying, why not do it? Why not do it?
Sure. I would have done it. Why not?
I love it. Second drafting. You scouted a guy early. You liked something about him. He went somewhere else. It didn't work. You bring him in and see if you can make it work. To me, that one would have been a no-brainer.
The only thing I'll say,
but he does it like 10 years later, though. That's the thing.
But the only thing I'll say about that is the disrespect that Josh Jackson showed by refusing to work out for the Celtics. If I'm Danny Ainge, screw you, buddy. You don't want to play for us.
Like Bobby Manning showed us tonight. Like that, is it similar?
It's on that level. It's right around that level, yeah. Or Nick. T-Row, yeah.
I didn't know about Nick until right before. I thought Nick was all in.
All right, I'll switch it up. We did have there's a
40 tonight. Jesus.
We're all gonna regret Nesmith. Mark,
the one that got away.
Mark, this guy's words. No,
lighting it up in the playoffs.
2021 playoffs.
If we make the playoffs, yikes.
All right, fine. What about this guy?
I can't read it because you got the comment in front of it.
Yeah, get Sean out of there.
You tell me.
Da, da, da.
Oh, John Collins.
How much?
Yeah, we're going back to the preseason. We're going.
How much is you have to max him out? You got to trade for him and then max him out. So it's probably picks, your TPE. You're probably paying a real price in terms of whatever one would consider assets. Couple young players, couple picks. Then you got to
Robin.
Then you got to pay him.
I think you got to do 3. No, at least 3 young guys.
It depends because some people are. The question is, if you bring him in as a straight rental, and Atlanta's just going to cut bait and try to get something in return, get the salary hold, whatever it is, and they know they're not going to re-sign him, you might be able to get it cheap, unless some other team wants to bring him in and make him a centerpiece or offer him the max deal the next year. I have no idea.
Because I'm thinking what the Williamses, Romeo, and Nesmiths, 3 out of the 4, right?
Oh God, those guys. I might ask for you to specifically not trade me any of those players if I'm another team. I'd honestly be like, you don't have to give me anything.
Atlanta will be excited about Rob.
Hey,
and
when
Nesmith.
I hear John Collins,
watch Nesmith go off in Atlanta.
I don't think of max players. Is that just me, or am I just like he's definitely a max player?
No, but he wants to be.
Yeah, but so you're saying they have to trade for John? They have to trade.
The reason Atlanta doesn't want him is because he's basically saying I'm a max guy, and they've got to decide whether they're going to pay him.
I think what he's trying to say, Jimmy, is that this would be
he's restricted, is he not?
No, right, John?
This would be a panic move. He doesn't do anything you want him to do. He doesn't necessarily play defense. He's athletic as hell.
I think it'd be a panic move.
I mean,
but I don't see it. People like it because I think they're desperate right now for something.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's the thing. Is you don't want to panic. You don't want to panic sell or panic buy. It's like the stock market. You see your stock dropping a little bit. Sometimes when stock starts to drop like crazy, they'll literally stop trading on the market because they want people to just take a deep breath and not go crazy and not panic and sell everything you own. So take a deep breath. I don't think John Collins is going to save the Celtics.
You got to give him the Jalen deal, basically, if you bring him on.
Mm-hmm. That's risky to just bring on a guy with you're bringing on a guy that you don't know. He hasn't been in the system. He hasn't been with the organization. You're going to commit all that to him. That's risky. I'm way more inclined to give that to somebody who was drafted by the team like Jaylen Brown, and who you have, wants to be here, sort of part of the culture. That I get. You go trade for a guy at the deadline and then give him a max deal. That's risky. I mean, sure, you might be able to flip it if he ends up, statistically speaking, somewhat living up to it, or the cap goes up and the max doesn't look as bad. But to me, I think that's more of a risk or more of a panic move right now. Do the Celtics need to do something? Yeah, I think we can all agree that they're not designed right now to win a championship. But you have to be careful because you need some young, low-cost players to round out your lineup if you want to compete. You need guys on a Pritchard-type contract, right? If they ever decide to play Rob, you need that guy on that type of a contract, on a lower contract, to round out your rotation or to contribute at a price that isn't a max level. You can't just have 3 max guys and then a bunch of scrubs. You need to find low-cost, high-impact players like a Pritchard. So do you want to get rid of him? I don't.
Guys, how many field goals do you think Grant Williams had? Field goal attempts Grant Williams had tonight?
John was listening.
4, maybe.
I was listening.
I'll just copy Josue's answer because I have no idea.
0.
Why did I say 4?
Why did you say 4? And why did I listen to you?
How is that possible? He played 25 minutes.
He didn't really have. Well, I remember him passing up one an open look, but
he almost had no stats. He was literally. I mean, he did. That's as close to invisible as a human could be.
Not really. When you play 24 minutes, you're out there for a while. So
I know. 25 minutes for no field goals, 4 rebounds. Wow.
Yeah, he was awful.
What an ass game from most of these guys tonight, huh?
That's not too far off from what Grant Williams gives you sometimes, though.
Oh, well, every other day it's a Grant or a semi-apology, Cam. So, and then they put forth these performances.
Well, here's the thing about Grant.
What bothers me a little bit about the whole Collins thing, though? Like, I don't. Like, when did the Celtics give max dollars to someone that's just not, one, either established, or 2, one of their own homegrown guys? Like, do they really trust Collins? Is his reputation strong enough for Danny to say, okay, I trust this guy to bring him in? Because let's face it, I mean, after whether we're talking Kyrie Irving or after what we saw in the bubble last season, the Celtics have made a point to draft guys on not only talent alone, but guys that people who want to be embraced by others. Guys that can fit into a locker room and empower it instead of be a potential to sour it.
I don't see Collins as an answer either.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. And I don't know if I want to call it a flat-out gamble. I think the guy's talented, but it's a gamble in that aspect because if you're giving someone max dollars, you have to make sure that he's checking out all those boxes. Celtics don't do that. They don't just give out to guys like that.
I don't know.
100%.
They're in a tough spot right now. I don't know. I mean, we're now looking at it was 8 out of 12 losses, right? Now then they just went 1-on-1. 9 out of 13. I mean, this isn't inconsistent. This is bad. It's bad. They're bad. They're among the worst teams in the Eastern Conference over this stretch. I mean, it's there's no reason to sugarcoat it. I think the conversation around the Celtics always is kind of like, oh, well, they'll figure it out. Like, will they? Like you said, Jimmy, about Nesmith. Do they? Like,
yeah, no, we train ourselves to think a certain way, but then when we actually take a step back, we're like, well, wait a second, maybe they don't, or maybe they do, you know what I mean? Like,
right. It's almost like the Kemba conversation. Like, you got 20 games, you got 10, 11 games into Kemba's season. Okay, maybe you get to 20 before you start saying, all right, this is a legit pattern and cause for concern. I don't know where you keep moving that line. We're 25 games into the season, and there's an absolute a million excuses and reasons you can make. Tatum COVID, Jalen injury, Smart being out for an extended period of time.
Kemba.
Oh, there's a bunch of things you can point to why they wouldn't be consistent, but they've been flat bad.
See you, Joe.
We lost our way. We need 2 hosts now. We need 2 hosts.
That's why I don't get hung up completely on the record, but from the game-to-game play that we watch, if you just said, "Oh, the Celtics are 13-12, they suck," well, that doesn't tell the whole story because they have been playing without a lot of guys in certain games. But when you watch the guys who are healthy play, you get disappointed sometimes with guys that you do see on a consistent basis or are consistently insistent, right? So in that respect, you can totally understand how they're 13-12 because in a microcosm they're inconsistent, and then throughout the season they are. Now we know that they're on a bit of there's a math. I'm hearing myself speak right now, and it's totally messing me up. I will say this: we know that they're on a downward trend right now. I don't expect that to last throughout the season. There's ebbs and flows. But I do think they need something. They need some sort of spark. I don't know if it's just health. I don't know if it's when Marcus Smart comes back. That's like a huge cog and a huge like bridge piece from the starters to the bench. And then you've got Pritchard and Smart sort of as like a 1-2 power punch there. But there's something that they're lacking right now that does not put them in the upper echelon of NBA teams or even Eastern Conference teams right now.
Yeah.
Did Smart say anything about his recovery?
He said slow, taking it slow. Okay. I will say, not to the level of full-blown apology cam, but Semi was trending in a good direction tonight, I think.
You know what we should do, John? We should do all of our apologies now with Bobby not on the show.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Sorry for Semi Ojeleye. Done. On the record. We did it.
Sorry.
Yeah. Here we go.
He missed it.
No.
He's gonna hop in now. Watch.
That's it. That's all you got, Bobby. Sorry,
That's
bud.
it. All 3 of us apologize. Now it's Bobby's turn. Rotation's back.
Yep.
We're gonna lead with that next episode.
He's got
back through. No, he was trending in a better direction tonight again. And Stevens talked about it. You're right. Like, it seems like a small thing, but when Nesmith can't see the floor and you're this thin on wings, man, do you have no positional versatility here, without this. You're dying for this. I mean, it's so strange to have gone from this being such a strength on this team, so much so that you drove away a superstar player because he felt he couldn't have a role on this team. And now you're dying for Semi Ojeleye to get minutes. It's such a sad state of affairs. But I mean, on this team, he has value at this point just because of that. He stretches the floor better than anyone else. Otherwise, you're looking at that crap double big lineup or way too much Grant Williams. And the defensive versatility there. I mean, again, they were crap after he left defensively as well. So I don't know. It was
and we always talk about all this. They need wing help. They need wing help. He's kind of exactly a step below of what you're looking for, to come onto this team because he's a guy that can give you that wing depth and provide defense, stretch the floor, but he's not going to command the ball. He's not going to take shots away from Jalen or Jason or Kemba when he's healthy and out there. So he kind of is a really good starting lineup piece, to be honest. In a perfect world, is he your starter? No, but on this team, he does kind of fit in that starting lineup position. I'm hoping that the injury is not anything serious. I will say I've been spot on with the Pritchard and the Smart injuries. I don't think this is a serious injury either, so I'm just going to go on the record by saying
the Semi Ojeleye.
Yeah,
Brad's saying they think it's day to day.
Yeah, that's kind of what he's walking off. He wasn't like devastated or anything walking off, but tweaked something. It's a tweak.
Run out of wings, so they had to make sure he's going to be okay for Sunday. They're going to rest him up for a matinee.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's nothing. This is a quick turnaround for these guys. Like, this isn't going to be. It's going to be tough. Sunday's game's going to be tough.
We talked about this last night on the show. We didn't expect to see Jaylen Brown suit up tonight, And I kind of wish we didn't.
Yeah, well,
would
I
anyone
would
have been upset?
I would like to see a fresh Jaylen Brown on Sunday.
Yeah.
Would anyone have been upset if Jaylen Brown didn't play tonight? And Aaron Nesmith gets 20 minutes, and even if the Celtics lose the game, you rest a couple of guys. Let's say Semi doesn't get hurt, he gets good burn, but instead, they play Brown, and it's still not enough. And now, they've got Brown playing on a back-to-back with apparently a sore tendonitis and such. So I don't know. I kind of would have been completely fine with. I don't want to say punting the game, because you never want to punt the game, but I would have been completely fine with them relying on some depth tonight to sort of carry them, and I think it still would have been a competitive game.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Well.
At least it's why. Again, this is supposed to be an easy stretch here, starting with the Pistons. So that's definitely not the best thing here. I mean, you are looking for, after this kind of trip out west, you have Washington. Denver's not easy, but back-to-backs with Atlanta. New Orleans is playing like crap. Dallas, Atlanta again. So, then you got Washington. This should be the stretch where they can get right a little bit. Maybe they rest some people. But again, it's hard to get right when you're losing games to the Pistons here. So it's, again, this was a fear we had at the beginning of the year. It's hard. They did do it at the beginning of the year. They won more games than expected, and they did it sometimes when they sat players. So there was a vibe that, maybe they are good enough to beat the bad teams. We were worried at the beginning of the year that they wouldn't be able to walk into a gym and just beat teams because they were the Celtics.
Right.
If they didn't have their A game or they were down a guy, they'd have to fight it out. It kind of turns out that's the case. They can't just. Last year's team, I feel, could be down 2 guys and they're going to beat Detroit, 10 out of 10 times. I mean, 9 out of 10 times. They've lost to them twice already with Tatum and Brown on the court. That's horrible.
Yeah, but they split what? They split the last 6 games, 3-3. I mean, Detroit always gives them a tough. They're always a tough out for the Celtics. But I mean, this game in particular, Saddiq Bey went crazy, but still a winnable game at the end of the day. I just think it comes back down to the defense, and again, that stretch of possessions. I mean, I get it; they want to get everyone involved, but I thought Jaylen and Jason could have been a bit more aggressive there. I mean, Jason was, but maybe Jaylen could have got in there. It was a tough stretch for the Celtics. Again, that defense, man. Like what I saw last night, that was the kind of defense that could really put this team on a good stretch of games, But
John, why are you posting that? Why are you posting that comment?
Sometimes I miss.
You didn't even play tonight, bro.
Sometimes I miss.
You didn't even play tonight. You're gonna trash Kemba on an off night. Man's just trying to watch the game like the rest of us.
I will give Kemba a break tonight.
Thank you.
I'll give him a break tonight.
You say thank you as if like it's not ridiculous and I give him a break.
You need Kemba Walker on this team. Okay? Kevin Garnett isn't walking through that door, folks. Paul Pierce isn't walking through that door. You need Kemba Walker to do Kemba Walker things, because they aren't trading him. Not this year. He's not going anywhere this year. So you better hope that he figures it out, because you can scream trade Kemba all you want, but I can guarantee you he is not going anywhere this year.
Kemba Walker is going to die a Celtic. So
let's just end that discussion right now. He's not going anywhere.
All right. I'll give you guys free reign over what you want to talk about before we wrap it up.
Free reign. Well, I didn't get a chance to talk about the Super Bowl, really, but I don't think we need to talk about that anymore. I got nothing right now. I mean,
why? What do you got? What do you want to say about the Super Bowl?
No, I mean, I don't want to rub it in, but I've been pumping Tom Brady's tires all year, and John only came over to the Tom Brady side like 2 weeks ago, so he thinks he's in the clear. He's really not in the clear.
I'm still barely there. If Brady lost by 40, I might have enjoyed it.
But he wouldn't lose by 40.
I'm just saying. If Brady got sacked 11 times and threw 3 picks, I might have liked that too.
I'm sure you would have. And
I was like 51-49.
So would have every single person on TV and radio and everywhere else that's been praying that Tom Brady's reign is over, but it's not over. And it's just a shame. I'll say it one more time. It's a shame that the Patriots didn't believe that Tom Brady still had it in him, because They had their guy. They let him go. And now they're begging, pleading, and hoping and praying that they can find somebody even half as good as Tom Brady. And guess what? It doesn't look like they're going to be able to that easily. So, and I'll tell you one other thing.
All right, I got another one. All right, go ahead.
One last thing. J.J. Watt was released by the Houston Texans today. If you have Tom Brady on your team, do not tell me that the Patriots aren't a favorite to land J.J. Watt, because that's what those days used to be like in New England. Anytime a star player was released or anytime there was a guy out there, he wanted to come to New England because he wanted to win a championship, and he knew that he could do it with Belichick and Brady. Now, why the hell would J.J. Watt want to come in the Patriots?
Anybody would come here if this looked like a team that was going to win, and they could be a team that would win without Brady. They just happen to have no quarterback. They don't happen to have a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback. The worst quarterback in the league last year. The worst, and that was the worst wire-to-wire starter in the league by far.
But John, they did nothing prior to acquiring him.
And they went 7-9. So with a league average quarterback, this team was probably in the playoffs, which means free agents would come here because Belichick gives you a chance to win. So it's not all about Tom Brady here. It helped because it's come here, sacrifice some money, and we'll win you a ring when you're going 1 out of 2 years. This league, this went slightly differently. You could still bring somebody. Joe Sway, a basketball thought, please.
Oh, well, the other thing I had was not basketball related. I got to give a shout out to my boy Dustin Pedroia, man. You know, calling it a career. Come on. Come on. What you mean? We never said anything about him.
I know. That's fine. Go ahead.
He's been retired for 4 years.
Champion. I mean, look, you have to go back to really see, you know, remember the good old days, the Dustin Pedroia underdog, you know, infielder, the guy who every single pitch was on the jump, ready to get it. I mean, that's the effort, and that's what Boston's all about, right? Boston sports, diehards, Celtics fans, Sox fans, Bruins fans, all relate to the same thing. They all want the same sort of that sort of player. Unfortunate ending to his career, those last 3-4 seasons, but hey, I just want to give him a salute. You know, we salute the GOAT, obviously. Salute the GOAT in Tom Brady, but I gotta give a shout out to Dustin Pedroia. You know,
Dustin Pedroia
brought a couple titles to the city. All right, always gotta give a toast to someone who brought a couple titles to the city.
That's all fine and good.
What about basketball? We got any basketball? Do we have any basketball thoughts? What's going on around the NBA? Is there anything going on right now? I mean, we could do the All-Star thing, but I don't really want to. It's a business. They want to do this All-Star thing, and they're gonna make sure it happens. John, you want to go to Atlanta? I think it's a bad look.
You want to go to Atlanta?
No, I just the Pedroia thing. It's so hard to
back to the Pedroia thing.
It's so hard to miss him because no joke, he was in decline for like 3 years before that. He's been almost gone for 7 years. You know. Yeah. He really was. He was in like
the last title. I was like, oh yeah, Pedroia's supposed to come back next year, right?
He was in legit decline since like 2012. You know, like I mean. You know, and he had not entirely. He had a decent year. I take that back. He had a decent year 2016, but it feels like he's been gone forever. From a basketball frame of mind, I'm frustrated. I can't. I'm struggling watching this team. I'm struggling watching a team with no fight. I'm struggling watching Tatum on and off. You know, I don't know what it is. Like you know, lapsing back into the fall away, hero ball, shot selection, holding onto the ball. Like you've seen this team function at a high level. It's frustrating to watch them not. Like how do you go from a night where you're slinging the ball around, working it inside out, finding shooters, 30 assists, and then go to this and just play a game like this? It's maddeningly inconsistent. And that to me is a focus issue. It's just not fun anymore right now. It's not a fun team to watch at all. So
yeah, because you don't know what team's going to show up. I mean,
it's getting frustrating, which is why, again, like I'm dying for. Why do I want Rob Williams? Because I want to watch the full Rob Williams experience. I love watching him run around and be a friggin' nut job and like being sometimes not disciplined, but the energy that he brings and the playmaking ability. Like you want guys to like, bring it. And there's just too much out there. It's just not happening, or just inconsistent play. Like it's uninspiring. I can't watch Grant Williams. I can't watch the one game on, 4 games off efforts of Grant Williams and Semi Ojeleye and Javonte Green. It's just you're not that's not an effort thing. That's just a talent thing. There's just between the effort and the talent on any single night, I have no idea what we're getting out of this team. None.
Right. And that's the most frustrating thing about it.
None.
Compared to what we saw last night, because I felt like we saw a completely different team. Is it Jason and Jalen's passing more? Yeah, a little bit of that. Obviously, the ball didn't stop when it came into their hands, which we see a lot, throughout the course of the season. So yeah, that did help. But also, it was also guys knocking down shots. But when those shots weren't falling, and I feel like this is a personality trait of this team that's not good. It's been going on for a couple of seasons.
Not
now.
Great. And that's
they do this thing where, like, if a team matches their energy, a team that's not supposed to match their energy, of course, it's like they falter. They don't know what to, and then all of a sudden when they try to push back, it's either too little, too late, or they're in a case where they have to get like 3 stops in a row, which was the case tonight. And Bay hit that 3 that put him away.
Right.
And so that's the case. Like those nights when you want to pull your hair out, John, that's when that team shows up.
Yeah. No, it's true.
And how do you fix it? Because
that's the thing. I don't know. That's why I get the commenters. I feel it. Like, everyone wants a fix, right? So like, I get people in here like Danny built a bad team. It's his fault. Or it's Brad's fault. The rotations are bad. He's not firing them up. I get it. I don't know if any of those things are right necessarily, but like, I get thinking that and feeling that because you just want to look at it and say, make it stop. Like somebody make it better, And then it comes down to, is it that or is it just the players? And obviously it's the players, and Danny bears some responsibility, and that's fine. But I get it right now. And I don't know what the solution is. I think, consistent energy and effort on a nightly basis makes a big deal. I mean, we've been talking about it all year. Does this feel like a Celtics team on the defensive end of the floor? The amount of easy buckets that they give up and open look threes, like it's just not at all representative of the type of defense you're used to seeing from a Brad Stevens team or this team. So it starts there, and it's not sexy to talk about. Everyone's like, I want Aaron Nesmith to shoot threes. Like, I get it, but it's like, but I mean, and to Bobby's credit, and I'll delete this portion of the show before we post it to YouTube.
Thank you.
It does start. Their offense is usually not the issue. Yeah, it's the defense. It starts with the defense,
right?
In most cases, and it's just been horrible. It's horrible, and it's deflating. Like you work your ass off to get a bucket, and Jason Tatum hits some ridiculously difficult fall away jumper, and then they walk down the court in the other end and get a layup uncontested. Like it's just, like what did we work so hard for to just give that up the other way? It's deflating, and it's frustrating as a team watching other people just kind of like lapse on defense and giving away easy buckets.
The Celtics forced the Pistons to start the second half. The Pistons went 0 for 8. Like, can I get a double-digit lead out of that? Like, you stopped them. They missed 8 shots, and you couldn't capitalize on that. And Celtics missed, like 5 and throughout that stretch. Like, it was just, like, terrible basketball back and forth. That's why, like, I think it was the end of the first quarter, and it was, like, 23-25. Like, this game is awful because, like, but then the Celtics, they make a difference. I mean, they create distance. And, again, they go back to their old habits. They let the team back. Bay goes nuts, and all of a sudden it's a game again.
Yeah, Terry, I don't disagree. And again, just to try to have this, to have a nuanced conversation about Marcus Smart, he absolutely has terrific and tremendous value to this team for multiple reasons: his playmaking ability, his defensive energy and intensity, and possibly kicking some guys in the ass who do have lapses from time to time. Okay.
I think that's what it is. Kicking them in the ass. I don't know if there's really
it's hard
enough...
to flack around him.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if as good as the Jays are, I don't know how much they, I don't know. I don't know how much they
drift in and out
issue.
Sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. They're in and out, and maybe they're relying on their just talent, right, instead of their effort. I'm not calling out anyone's effort like right now, but defense is all about effort. So sometimes that's the difference in making a stop is, that extra rotation or that closing in on a shooter, fighting for that rebound, whatever it may be. Sometimes it comes down to effort. So I don't know if they're relying too much on to shoot themselves back into the game, but it's not working. So if that's when Marcus Smart comes in, then great, because that's what they need. But it sounds like he's still a couple weeks away at best. So or not at best, but it sounds like he's a couple weeks away. So, they're gonna have to figure it out without him.
Yeah, but that hurts a lot, and I guess that's you need a little bit of that right now. So
Tatum hasn't been great recently, if we're being honest. Well, I'll say this:
his shooting's been pretty poor.
His shooting his shooting efficiency has been average at best. So there might be something since he's come back from COVID. I'm not saying COVID had anything to do with it.
But also though, he's also been getting to the free throw line a lot more often.
Better. I mean, tonight that was a story for him for sure.
Pre-COVID Tatum, that was like tonight was I thought that was unheard of for him. What did he have? 13 attempts tonight?
12 of 13 from the line today, but
13
overall shooting has been down for sure. I mean, you're looking at 9 of 22 tonight, 5 of 13, 7 of 20, 8 of 22 the last few nights, but he's had 13 attempts, 6 attempts, 8 attempts from the free throw line. And also in these games, he's had 7 assists tonight and 9 assists. So he has made contributions in other places, but his shooting percentage definitely down. He's shooting 40% for the month of February. And 36% from 3, which is down from his season averages for sure. So he's definitely cooled off, kind of post COVID here a little bit. Even though really he had a couple good games. First couple of games back, he was pretty good. And then he had that terrific game where he was, 12 of 18 and the loss to the Lakers, but he was really efficient there. Last 5 or 6 have been a little bit inconsistent though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, not great, but I'm not putting anything here on Tatum. I think the shooting's been a little off, but yeah, you're just looking for him to save the day, when you get these kind of crap efforts here, and just wasn't able to tonight. And again, he had 33 points. So, I mean, it's hard to kill him.
Right. No, you can't, you just certainly can't kill him. But again, it goes back to I think we all hold him in such a high regard now where we actually we all, I think, consider him a fringe top 10 player in the NBA. So when you go through those, I'm not going to call them slumps because the numbers are still there, but the efficiency, again, it's noticeable, right? So he's at the point now where he can sort of not play great, but still put up 25. So it's hard to criticize in the traditional sense. But if you're holding him to that, top tier of players, then you kind of can at least discuss it like we are now. How about Celtics light tonight? The Hornets, Rozier, Hayward. I mean, those guys are nipping at the Celtics' heels right now. They're 13 and 14.
Yeah, they are.
Everyone's right. Everyone.
I'm just picturing Gordon. I'm just picturing Gordon in the locker room turning to Terry, just smiling and being like, "You see Shemi last night?"
It's funny though,
you see what they're doing right now, Shemi's big night. I mean, I'm sure they're happy for him, but they're like, man, something must be really in panic mode, if they're having a real conversation, obviously keeping things off the record, they'd probably say something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
those boys are in trouble.
They got a good little thing going on over there. I mean, with Ball, I'll tell you what, I was wrong about
Ball. Really.
I was wrong. I thought he was all hype.
Surprised a lot of people. Apology, can't Ball go.
Absolutely. So my apology. Okay, I was gonna say. I mean, I totally will because I told my friends, I was like, "Here's the big."
You want to get all of them out of the way without Bobby tonight.
I thought Ball was gonna be a huge bust just because I thought he was all hype, and I just thought that he was the guy that wasn't gonna play defense, was gonna hoist crazy shots and all this stuff. So shout out to Ball, man. I mean, he's doing his thing. He looks like a seasoned passer. He's some really, really nice, fun passes out there. Him, Hayward, Rozier, Bridges. They've got a little squad growing over there. So everyone was shitting on Hayward for going to Charlotte, but maybe he knew something or saw something, or obviously the money was a factor. But that's the thing. When you go to a team like that, you can kind of take them over that hump, and they're a fun team, and they're right on the Celtics' heels right now. So
better cheese shops.
I hear Charlotte has great cheese.
Great cheese shops.
With Jordan.
Some people go to cities for the strip clubs. Hey, the Haywards go for the cheese shops.
He's kicking it with
Charlotte's a sneaky fun city.
Yeah,
I think. It's fun. Asheville.
Gordon and Mike are having guy nights. They're chilling.
I Anyway, let's do this. Josue knows most about this, but at Maragal Medical here, stem cell therapy. If you're dealing with injuries here, and I know our boy Cedric Maxwell went and got himself treatment here for a knee. So Josue can attest to that. But I'll tell you guys, go to maracalmedical.com if you're experiencing any of these types of issues, and set up a free consult by telling them Cedric Maxwell sent you. So just do that. Josue can talk about it a little bit because this really was a miracle cure for Max here.
Yeah, it was something that was bothering him, chronic pain that he had been talking to me about, and I'm telling him to get it done because off season comes and goes, and after the NBA shutdown, a couple of months went by. After cabin fever kicked in, he finally decided to do something about it. Your mind wanders, all that extra time, right? And he's like, man, my knee's bugging me. I gotta do something about this. I'm gonna check out these guys. It's a free consult. Go in. Find out what they can offer you, and I trust me, you won't be disappointed because Max.
So they pinpoint the root cause of whatever pain you have. Yeah, they pinpoint the root cause. It's not just go in there and get a cortisone shot. They're looking for long-term fixes here. Medical care, physical therapy, chiropractic care, nutrition, regenerative medicine, injections, all sorts of different treatments, because ultimately they're trying to get you to be better. It's not a quick fix solution. So that's what they do. Check it out, maragalmedical.com, or call 978-537-0555. Set up a free consult by telling them Cedric Maxwell sent you. Jimmy, did you have a point here?
Well, I was going to say, if he's pain free, like he probably is, Celtics might have a need.
Max, get on my back, boys.
That's it. I was going to say, did he go for his back pain or his knee pain?
Knee pain. He's carried us long enough.
He hasn't touched the basketball since the last time he checked into an NBA game. So
yeah. Anyway, Bobby Manning, the search for Bobby Manning's replacement continues. He's going to miss Sunday's show as well. We're hoping to have a replacement by then, a full-time replacement.
Wow.
Once again, Bobby Manning is no longer on the show.
Bobby Pip.
Yeah.
Save Bobby. Save Bobby.
Yeah. Sorry, Bobby. Thanks, though.
Thanks for
all the games.
Thanks. Yep. Thanks for everything.
Josue, just slide some DMs to him. He's going to be the person taking all the
applications. Go to Josue.
Yeah,
that's right.
And reels. If you have any reels, send him.
Yeah, I'll read them days later.
We'll post the best reel on the show on Sunday.
Yeah.
If you get a response within a couple of days, that means I really liked it.
Yeah. Totally.
That's a quick response.
Bobby is my goat. Is that Bobby's cousin's in the chat here?
Why, Bobby? So we'll figure it out. If it's not, it's going to be. Nick can apply, absolutely.
Nick's too good to apply though. He's too good to be on the show. Apparently, he's got plans tonight.
Don't do that. He's gonna get into the chat. He's gonna crash. He's gonna crash the party.
Tonight.
Yeah. All right, we'll see. We'll see if Bobby's back.
We shall see. Who do we got Sunday?
Hashtag going. Save
Bobby. On Sunday.
Save Bobby. Yeah, you guys can get a Save Bobby thing going, and if we get enough there, we'll figure it out.
Wizards on Sunday, huh?
What's the over/under? What are you gonna set it at? 50?
Josue, you got any Valentine's Day plans, bro?
I got nothing, man. I'm chilling.
No.
What about you?
I'm chilling right now, dude.
You asked that question like you had something.
No, I don't. I'm waiting for this girl to hit me back up on Bumble, but staring at it, man. Just waiting for that message back. But you know how it goes on those things.
Yeah, that could be days, could be months, man.
Well, here's the thing, like you know how it goes on Bumble, like they have to send the first message. So if you send me a message
that's right. Yeah.
So you send me a message, like I assume that you're interested. So I'll hit you back with the message. But don't go dark after that. Like you are like, is this just so that I go into your like Rolodex of former matches, or are you actually interested? So you got to hit me back. Like Valentine's Day is coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to like take you out on Valentine's Day. That would be a crazy move.
You gotta let her know that she's up there. She's in the top tier. She's probably thinking she's one of she's lost in the shuffle. That's probably what it is.
No, see,
But it's on them,
her.
right? You can't even contact her, right? You can't.
Well, no,
even...
I can because
okay.
she already unlocked it. She unlocked it. A
She
lot of
broke
times that you know how it is on those things. Sometimes they just expire. But she unlocked it, so I hit her back. Now it's like, what are you gonna do? It's like ball's back in your court. I'm not gonna double text. I still have some pride,
Yeah, it looks a little thirsty. That's true.
But anyways, that's Valentine's Day is probably gonna be quiet this year. So
are people going? Like, is that allowed? Are people going out, or are people just doing their own thing? Like,
I think like 25% of people are going out because that's all like these restaurants can hold. I think so.
Because this would be if things were, if people were still going out
in the friend zone.
This would be a good time for the ladies that don't have a date this weekend, right, Jimmy? This is the weekend where you can go and you're lucky.
You can still get creative with some outdoor things like
dramatically the Valentine's Day weekend.
Power move and unmatched, total power move, just like totally blow it up. Never see her, know anything about her, just power move. See her at the bar in 2 years. Hey, remember me? I had matched you after 3 hours.
Right.
All right. So we're back. When is Valentine's Day? That's probably outs me.
You should probably know, John.
That outs me as a married.
What are your plans? Olive Garden? What you got going, man?
Dude, he's married.
You got to be kidding if you're gonna put me at the Olive Garden.
Oh, too good for the Olive Garden.
I didn't know if you heard me. I was like,
oh my God.
Breadsticks, bro.
No, man. I'm pretty snobby with my food, man. No, I
haven't been to the Olive Garden.
It's the Chinese New Year. Happy New Year, everybody! I forgot to post my
Happy New Year. Year of the Ox.
Huh?
Year of the Ox.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Year of the Ox. Yeah. Happy New Year. I said Happy New Year to one of my best friends.
My
Chinese.
bad.
I was in his wedding. I said Happy New Year.
What's your go-to spot for Italian food?
Italian for me?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not the Olive Garden.
He's Greek, dude.
No, I mean, I'll do. There's 6, 7, 8 places in the North End. I'll do.
I knew you got a list. There you go.
You can't go wrong in the North End.
There's some good spots in Providence as well. Providence is amazing. There's a
good little Italy
there in Federal Hill.
Like a little Italy that's really good in Providence.
You're paying 60% of the price that you'd pay in the North End for phenomenal quality food. There's a bunch.
You know what else they have too? They have outdoor entertainment too. They have someone playing the guitar. You can go. I mean, Boston has that too, but Providence does it in a way. It's more like the setting is more for you and your date. You can kick it. That's true.
Yeah, no, I will. One of those guys. I will literally travel anywhere for my food, if I can get it. Like, so I don't care. I'm not going around to the local joint. So today I went into there's Jimmy's back. Today to celebrate the Chinese New Year, I went into Chinatown. Let me see if I can get my food pick of the day, and I got Chinese barbecue. You know those places that have like the duck and the pork in the window.
Like the Koreans? Oh, you said Chinese, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Which one in Chinatown, though? You went to Boston, Chinatown?
Yes.
So
this is, you got roast pork, you got barbecue pork, and you got roast duck there. That's what I did today.
How's the duck?
Dude, that's pretty
good. My God.
Hey, was it? I was actually wondering, was it
crazy about duck?
A little bit? Anybody there?
Was it what?
Yeah, we're all here.
Was it kind of buzzing in Chinatown? I'm saying, like, was it? Could you tell it was New Year or what?
No, it wasn't.
Not really.
It wasn't.
All right. Well,
I mean, it wasn't. There was people out and about, and I have a few friends that had made a couple big meals. There was some people. There was a bunch of people in there getting takeout. You could see like big bags, and I think for setting up for like meals at home.
At home.
But yeah, that Chinese barbecue is friggin' great. You walk into those places, you're not gonna be able to talk with anybody, and the menu is no joke. There's not an English word on the menu, and it's a lot of pointing. But like I came away with that, I was pretty satisfied.
Yeah, I mean it's a good spot when it's not like, can I get a C7 and like those like takeout spots.
No, this is real. You're just literally
pointing real good Chinese food, right? Yeah.
You're just pointing at animals in the window, and I'm like, give me that animal.
And just put it in the window. Like, yeah.
I love that. I love these places.
That's a good spot.
So good. They're just bringing ducks on hooks and just putting them out, one after the other. For the other's awesome.
In
They
China,
just killed it hours before, man. It's fresh.
Yeah.
Crazy,
so that stuff is good. So that's how I celebrated my Chinese New Year. That was delicious.
It's pretty good.
But anyway, that's it, guys. We're back on Sunday, so we'll take a day off. Again, I'm not kidding. There is no Bobby. Bobby has not been kicked off the show yet.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
He's been nice.
But he's pushing it, okay?
John, did you get Rangoons today?
Come on.
Yeah, obviously.
No.
What?
Guys, come on.
Oh, that's true.
On, man. I went there for real. I went there for real Chinese food, not friggin' suburban.
Yeah, but like, I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not saying. I mean,
I'm not gonna. So look at it this way:
you could eat it with your pinky ring up, man.
Rangoon's a guilty pleasure of mine, but it's total garbage. I'll eat that the same way I'll eat like McDonald's. Like it's trash, but it's still
man. What about your favorite? Think of your favorite crab ragoon, though.
Wow, I won't.
You know what's great?
Some places their crab ragoon is legit. It's another level.
Up near my wife, in Tewksbury, Jade East, best chicken wings, best crab rangoons I've ever had. The chicken wings look like they came off a friggin' pterodactyl. They're like
really.
Oh, those are the good ones.
Big.
Yeah.
Off the main gracious. Tewksbury.
Yeah, amazing. That's our classic. We used to do Christmas Eve at her house. That would be our classic Christmas Eve meal before the actual traditional American style,
Wow.
Christmas.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
All slop, just spare ribs and chicken fingers and fried rice and that kind of Chinese food.
Yeah.
I never eat that. That to me is it's gross.
Oh, so that's why you went quiet. I don't talk about the C9 and those
I don't eat that stuff.
Combo meals.
I don't eat that stuff.
So what's funny? Like that's what I eat on New Year's Eve, here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Chinese food, but crappy Chinese food, like goon.
Yes.
Spare
So that's what I view that as fast food. It's like McDonald's for me. If I eat Chinese food, I'll eat real food.
It is kind of, yeah.
When I was out at Springfield College, there's this place called the Hookie Lao. They used to have a lot of comedians that you can catch a show. Best crab ragoon I've ever had. It was just something about it. They would really fill them up, and they're like the triangle ones. Out there, most of the Chinese places, they have the triangle ones just filled with crab ragoon. Not the twirled up ones where sometimes they don't even put much in there. It was the nice, it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'll drive an hour for a good crab rangoon. So Josue, hit me up with that address, dude.
Yo, let's go. Especially if they get people back going again when you can catch comedians and stuff. It's a good time.
All right, guys. So, like I said, no Bobby. We'll be back. We'll see about Bobby going forward. His future is undecided, but we're here on Sunday. And we'll see what it's Washington. I mean, how much worse could it get, right?
Beal's going for 60.
Still,
we'll see.
Save Bobby.